Hey, welcome to Cute Things by Rebecca. I am Rebecca, and today we're going to make an in the hoop eyeglass case like this one with applique on it. And I'm going to show you how to do it with woven fabric or just vinyl. So there's two ways you can do this design. So let's get started. These are the supplies that you'll need. I have hoop tearaway. I have a piece of felt for the lining, this section here, and just regular cotton fabric. I have put some SF101 on the back of it to give it a little bit of sturdiness, but you don't need to if you don't want to. And the little stars on the front, these are my applique pieces. I'm just going to go by the placement lines, and when the stars come up, and I'll show you what that looks like when we get there. And then, so that's what you need for your fabric one. And for your vinyl one, just grab a piece of your favorite vinyl, some of your applique scrap fabrics, some snaps, and felt is a great lining for the glasses. So we're going to make one with a finished edge, and that's what we're going to use for the fabric one. It's going to have a satin edge all around it. That way you can use the fabric. It'll take a little longer to do than the vinyl one, but I'm going to show you how to do them both ways. So in the machine is all set up. The first step is always the placement step. So I'm going to run that, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Here is the placement step for the design. Now you want to take your main fabric panel and just place it over the entire design. And you can secure it with tape if you want, but you don't have to. Just keep an eye on it. The next step on the machine is going to be placements for your applique stars. So I will run that and I will show you what that looks like. Okay, so there's your placements for your applique. So I'm doing all my stars the same color, but you can obviously change them up how you want. So I know these stars are about 1.5 inches. I just have a square cut, just scrap fabrics that you can line up and put your pieces there and tape them or secure them, and then run the next step on the machine, which will secure them down. But since I'm using all the same color, I'm just going to put a piece right there, and it'll tack that fabric down, and I'll go in and cut real close. I'm going to run that next step, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so my appliques are tacked down. So now you just want to take and trim up real close to that stitch line on all your appliques, unless you want the raw look, but I'm going to use the satin. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting out my stars, and I will show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay, so that's what it looks like when all the stars are done. You can leave it look like this without doing the next 3 steps on the machine. It's going to be the satin outline if you wanted that raw edge. I think it looks kind of cute that way. But I'm going to go ahead and run the next 3 steps, which is going to put the satin all the way around the stars. Okay, so now my stars are done. Now you want to turn over your hoop and work on the back side. I had put some cutaway stabilizer on, and when I saw my stars were stitching a little, I wanted more stability, so that's what that is. It's just a little patch. Anyways, you want to take your felt or your lining, and you want to just place it over the entire design and secure it with tape, so when you put it back in the machine, it stays put. Run that next step, and it's going to secure all these pieces together. Okay, so now that step is done. Go ahead and trim on both sides of the hoop close up to that stitch line. I'm going to do that now, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so it's all trimmed on the back and the front. Now, the next step on the machine are placements for your snap tabs. If you want to run those now. I was going to show you how to use the phone, when to put it in. That would have been before you did this last outline. You would place it anywhere you wanted. But I always forget that, and I don't usually use a tab on mine. But I'll try to remember to do that with the vinyl one that we make in just a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and run those little placements. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. So the little markers for your tabs are done. So the last step on the machine is going to place a satin stitch all the way around the edging. Now I'm going to run that, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. Okay, so it's all done. Finished edges on both sides. So I used tearaways, so you should just be able to pop that out. Normally on a project like this, I would use wash away, 2 layers. But I use tearaway for some reason. Anyways, all done. Made with woven fabric. You can take a torch if you want, or a heat gun, and get your fuzzies off. That's why I should have used wash away. There. Just be careful when you do that not to do it too much, because you can burn through the edges there and it will fray. So now if you want to put your little tabs, what I do is just stab it. And just set them in place. And do the same for the other side. And there you go. You have a cute little eyeglass holder that you can put your glasses in, like all the way, like this if they're small enough, or if they're a little bit bigger, you can wrap them around like so. You can also put the faux in between, and then have a little secure place to hold those the back sides of your glasses. So lots of ways you can do this. Aren't they cute? Anyway, so that one's done. Now we're going to go ahead and do the vinyl one, and we're going to skip a bunch of steps, because it's going to be the exact same process, just at the end we're not going to put that edging around it. So same design, load it up. I'm going to do a placement step, and I will show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay, so here's the placement step for the other project. Now you want to grab your piece of vinyl and place it over the entire design. Run the next step. It's going to place those stars right there for you. I will show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay, so there's the placements for the stars. Now get your applique pieces of, you can use scrap fabrics. I'm just going to use this cute little vinyl. I'm going to place it over the entire thing because I'm going to use it on all the stars. So it's going to tack down, and I will show you what that looks like. Okay, so it's all tacked down there. Now you just want to trim up close like we did the last one. I won't bore you. I'm going to trim my stars and I'll show you what that looks like. So I trimmed up my stars. I think I'm going to leave it as the raw edge applique, so I'm not going to use the next 3 steps on the machine, which is the satin. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that. So the next step you want to do is, just trying to remember when to add my fold over elastic. And it is when you sandwich the back side lining on, and we're going to do that now. Just looking for a piece of tape here. It's right here. I think I'll put my tab right around here. So just go ahead and tape your tab if you want to use that. Take your lining piece and place it over the entire design, and then put some tape over it so it doesn't shift when you're putting it back in your machine. Run the next step. I'll do that and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's all done. So the next step, if you want to run, are the little placements for your tabs. I'm going to do that right now. There you have it. I'm going to stop now. I'm not going to run that next step, which is the satin edge around. I'm just going to go ahead and trim it since we're using vinyl. You don't need to, but you certainly can if you want to. These things are so quick and easy to make. I make tons of them and I sell them pretty quick. They're kind of a popular item to add with bag orders and stuff. So now what you want to do is, if you added a tab, find your tab and start there, because you don't want to cut it off. So I've done that before, being in a hurry, not paying attention, but just kind of trim around your little tab. And then cut your project all the way around. I don't usually show you this part, but I am, just because I'm right in the middle of it. So we're just going to go ahead and finish it up. So this was a project done in a 5x7 hoop, so I always cut my fabrics generous when I do this or make directions. I cut my fabric at 6x8. I do have some waste, but not much. You can always go by that placement line. And well, let's trim that up a little bit better. That looks terrible. Still looks terrible, but I'll finish it up. But anyways, there it is. Quick, easy, same project, different looks. So these are fun, and they come with 2 sizes. So if you have a larger frame of glasses, I have one for a 6x10 hoop, but I believe it's 6x8 or 9. So a little wider. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.